8:09. Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7. Why are we so late, Sam? 8:09. Are you kidding me?
I'm not the one fumbling the words.
I know, that would be me. Hey, you know what, Joan?
Yeah.
Do you know what I can't wait for when the big, boring vehicles come in to do whatever they do?
Is it all the dust? You can't wait for the dust?
No.
No.
I cannot wait for Afton Bain and Justin Jones and Justin Pearson to have their Tiananmen Square moment.
You think they're going to lay down in front of the boring machines?
They're going to lay down in front of the boring machines, and they're just going to stand up against Donald Trump and the patriarchy and all that other stuff.
The tyranny of the diggers.
The tyranny of the diggers. The tyranny of the boring machines. Yeah, I you know what's so funny? They are so ridiculous. I could actually see Afton Bain doing that. She'd make sure that the TV cameras are there. And then, on whatever day they're supposed to actually start digging, she'll be out there and it'll be her big Tiananmen Square moment. She'll just get right in front of the big boring machines.
I have a feeling Justin Jones would be like, are you going to let me in there to see what's going on? And they'll be like, yeah, this is a public viewing of them starting. And he'd be like, oh, no, I want you to tackle me to the ground and arrest me.
Justin Jones would be like, hey, man, that boring machine is racist. He did find racism somehow. I'm sure that he would, Or the, by the way, people are calling me Joe Biden.
Because of your speech impediment?
Chris Hand, who I love, and Chris Hand me and Chris have that kind of relationship. Chris sends me a text when I was talking about how I had this speech impediment when I was a kid, and people couldn't understand me because I muddled my R's and I Elmer fudded.
Yes.
Chris says, Joe Biden level excuses, LOL. Now it looks like Chris is going to be late. And you know what I said to him? Joe Biden level excuses.
Yeah, there you go.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's exactly right.
However, I mean, I've been reporting the 24 has been a big fat mess.
Okay. Big fat mess? What's going on 24? I haven't been listening to your traffic, Joan. What's going on 24?
Are you kidding
How
me?
bad is it? No, I don't listen to your traffic.
Yeah.
And apparently Chris doesn't either.
Yeah. True. Very true. I can't really tell what it is. I'm looking at the cameras. They don't show anything really unusual.
Yeah.
So I can't tell what it is, but it's just westbound is very backed up this morning.
All right, so real quickly. So inflation was?
Inflation came in at a monthly rate of 0.2% rise, and that was expected. But the year-over-year rate came in at 2.7%. Economists were expecting 2.8% higher.
Okay.
They're digging in a little bit to it. If there's an increase, it was due to the price of housing.
Mm-hmm.
So houses are costing more. But the price of groceries at the store is actually on the decline.
Oh,
so
good.
that's helping your wallet. So the stock futures went ping.
What did they do?
They went ping. You didn't catch it the first time, Dan?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure we had a clean recording so we could grab that later. Although Sam won't do that, people only like to grab recordings of me when I say silly things.
Agreed.
That's why they needed a whole new server.
I had to use an immense amount of self-control yesterday not to grab the "I'll do anything you want," Dan.
Good plan,
Yes.
Sam.
I like
Yes,
getting
indeed.
fresh vegetables occasionally.
Hey, do you want to hear what Donald Trump said to the media? I know I've saved this for you, Joan.
Okay.
When the media, you know how Trump he built the big beautiful ballroom, that he's doing that, right? So I have two questions. Number one, do you believe that once a Democrat, Lord help us, gets back into office, do you think they'll actually use the ballroom, or will they not, just because the Democrats are so dang petulant?
Yeah, you know what? They'll probably have it like a rummage sale in it.
Yeah, that's exactly. You know what? They'll keep the pets in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
They'll let it just pee all over the floor. That's what future presidents will do. That are Democrat, and they won't use the ballroom.
Yep.
You know that's coming.
They will clearly convert it into DEI offices.
Oh, see, that would be funny. That would be funny. I mean, no, it wouldn't be, but anyway. So a reporter actually asked, since you built this big old ballroom, because you've heard Brian Wilson mention that the White House press briefing room It is really small.
Yes.
It is really. You've never been in there, have you, Joan?
I haven't been in the press briefing room.
It's really small.
Yeah.
And so the president was asked, "Hey, would you consider building us a bigger room?"
You're building a big, beautiful ballroom.
Yeah.
Could we build a big, beautiful briefing room? Updated technology, more seats.
I don't want to do that. I don't want you to be comfortable. No, I don't want to make life comfortable.
I mean, did you that briefing yesterday? I haven't even talked about that. That briefing yesterday. So this is Donald Trump, and this is the president basically saying that I've got double audio playing. Here we go. And this is the president saying he'll know within 2 minutes whether Vladimir Putin is really ready to talk.
Well, we're going to have a meeting with Vladimir Putin, and at the end of that meeting, probably in the first 2 minutes, I'll know exactly whether or not a deal can be made. How will you know that? Because that's what I do. I make deals.
It's because that's what I do. I make deals. Sam, do your Trump impersonation for "It's what I do. I make deals."
It's what I do. I make deals.
There you go. See, Sam has a pretty good Trump impersonation.
Not bad.
It's no Shane Gillis.
No, it's not Shane Gillis, but few people are. So, you have any bold predictions for the big Friday meeting with Vladimir Putin, Joan? What do you think is going to come out of that meeting? I don't think anything is going to come out of it because I think that both of these guys have things that they are standing by, and they've got issues that are really their must-haves and they're deal breakers. And I don't know.
I think at the end of it, President Trump is going to sanction the snot out of Vladimir Putin to make him stop.
To Joan's point, all the deals we've been making, it incentivizes Putin to play game. I wouldn't walk away from that table if I was him.
Yeah, I mean, but Putin cannot look like he's been defeated. That's the thing. Both of these guys, Zelensky and Vladimir Putin, they both need to, and Trump knows this because it's what he does. And
he makes the deals.
He makes the deal. It's what he does. And for both of these guys, they need to come back with some semblance of a victory. Now, I don't know what that entails or what that means, but Zelensky has really painted himself into a corner because he has been very vocal in saying, we won't accept losing any land, and we won't accept Russia or Vladimir Putin having anything to do with the way that our country is run. I'm not going anywhere. So there's a lot of things that Zelensky has said that, he can't back down from because he has been so loud and boisterous and obnoxious about what it is that he's demanding. And so neither one of these guys seem like they really do want to have any kind of negotiation, and they don't want to give anything to the other side. But you know what the problem is that Zelensky's going to have? Trump is going to meet with Putin, and then Trump is going to probably have a nice chat with Putin, and then Zelensky is going to come out and he's going to look like he's being the a-hole because Trump's going to come back with some sort of an agreement with Putin, and then Zelensky's going to be the first guy to say, no way, no way, no way. Because that's part of what Donald Trump does is he kind of gravitates between the two. One day it is Zelensky that doesn't have the cards, then Putin doesn't have the cards. Zelensky's the bad guy, then Putin's the bad guy. And Trump, he keeps going back and forth, ultimately trying to make a deal to simply try to stop the killing. That is what Donald Trump wants. He wants to stop the killing. And for that, he is getting blasted. You've got all these leaders in the European Union and NATO, and they're freaking out that Donald Trump is going to meet with Vladimir Putin on U.S. soil, and they're trying to prod Zelensky and getting him all worked up as well about this whole thing, and he's already worked up enough. So there's certain times in history, Joan, that I would love, just absolutely love, to be a fly on the wall. Chris Hand is running late today, so I don't know if Chris is going to come in mid-segment or what he's going to do. He does need to get ready for his radio broadcast as well. Stuck in the traffic because he didn't listen to Joan Jones.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. It's crazy. He
Yeah.
should have listened to you. He would have known to, give himself a little bit extra time. Sam was telling me a little tidbit about what high school was it? Glencliff?
Glencliff, yeah. Hearing about that traffic update triggered my memory.
So Joan, you have triggered Sam
Wow.
because he has memories of Glencliff High School.
I played basketball at Martin Luther King, and we freshman year, I don't know if Metro still does it, all of the freshman teams played each other, and we'd play what would be considered out of district in that league, and we went to Glencliff, and there were just STD and teen pregnancy posters smattered everywhere throughout the halls of that school.
STD poster? Like, I had no idea they're doing that in schools now. STD posters and...
Well, this was like 12 years ago, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm reasonably certain that is still a problem.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I imagine.
Do you think they still do it? Let super text line. Are they still putting up these kinds of posters in schools these days? Because, I mean, when I went to school, and I know Joan can relate as well, it was all about, the dance on Saturday
Right.
and the football game.
Yeah.
All those things. And these days, it's like, now, I guess part of what they may be doing, describe, if you would, Sam, the STD posters.
They were big, and they were laminated, and they had some scientific language included with some graphic imagery. It typically was not like a hand-drawn or animated thing, too.
It's like a picture of STDs.
Yeah.
Oh.
So is it kind of like Scared Straight? Is that what they do?
I think that's what they were aiming for. They were also they were safe sex posters. It shocked all of us coming from a magnet school over to Glencliff because none of that, we're part of the same, school district in its entirety with curriculum and everything, and we didn't have those posters up. I guess our student population wasn't in the same risk category.
That's because you're privileged.
No, I was a lottery pick to get into that school. It wasn't privilege. It was luck.
You were privileged because you won the lottery.
That's true.
That's what it is. When I was in track and field, when this goes way back when I was in track and field, when
it was over in Greece.
We hated, yeah, exactly. We hated going to the LA schools because I was in the San Gabriel Valley, and going to the LA schools, you want to talk about a culture shock. And, there's a lot of crime and graffiti, even back then in the 80s when I went to school. So, yeah, no, I can. And yet, obviously, I wonder, do you think those posters actually, do you think they scared those kids into not having, unprotected?
They probably
No.
make fun of them.
Yeah.
They probably do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably do. All right. Dana Bash. So they're talking about Donald Trump sending the National Guard to Washington, D.C. Do you want to hear what Dana Bash had to say?
What's that?
This is so funny. And Dana, whatever. Listen to what she had to say.
And just as we go to break, I should note that the most violent moment in recent history in D.C. was January 6th.
I knew it.
And it was an attack on the United States Capitol by a lot of people who were doing it in the name of Donald Trump. And it included, the people who were hurt included members of law enforcement.
God, she just can't help herself.
She can't.
I guarantee you, if you played the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation hearings side by side with some January 6th footage, you couldn't tell them apart.
Yeah. No, you're right. And for Dana Bash, she always, I don't know if you've noticed, I mean, Joan, you probably know this. She always brings that up.
Oh, yeah.
Like just, you know.
She has been triggered by January 6th. Now, Kavanaugh, you mentioned Kavanaugh. They caught the guy trying to bust into his house with, what was it, handcuffs and break-in tools and all that stuff. And after that happened, the police allowed for people to go to his house and stand outside and threaten him, stand on his lawn, threaten him, march up and down the streets. They said they couldn't do anything about it. They were threatening him. But, people who were storming the Capitol to say, hey, we want our voting rights. Yeah. That's not okay.
And for the people on the left, they will never, ever, ever get over January 6th. And here's the deal. Obviously, it was a dark day in our history and all that other kind of stuff. But, and I said, I think I said this either on that day or in the days that followed, that the people on the left, they will be using this against Republicans. We will never, I said, be able to live this down.
Yes.
And they took Donald Trump off of, what was that?
Twitter.
Well, not only Twitter, Parler. Remember Parler?
Yeah, which died.
Yeah, Parler was, and I think they're back now, but I don't know. They came back. They were able to get back on the servers and all that. But I don't know if they ever got that traction again because Elon Musk came in and bought X. And that's where a lot of conservatives are now able to go and not have their freedom of speech on the on the social stifled. So, but Parler was gone, and I was making good progress on Parler with my likes and followers and all that kind of stuff.
And
But-
boom, it was gone.
What's that?
And boom, it was gone.
Yeah, it was gone. It was gone. And they took Donald Trump off of, again, all the socials and everything else. And if you ever want an example of overplaying a hand, it was the Democrats and the media regarding January 6th. Clearly. All right, real quick. Do you guys think that people still care about Epstein?
Yeah.
Joan?
I think they care less than they used to.
My interest is ticked back up after an Obama-appointed judge blocked the release of the grand jury testimony.
Yeah.
I find that to be very interesting.
So Harry Enton, of course, he is one who I don't believe that he pulls any punches left or right, and which is why I like him. He asked the question. He started, taking in the polls and all that kind of stuff. Do people care about the Epstein saga? What do you think? Do you think people care as much as they used to, or do you think that it is going down? Joan?
Going down.
What do you think? Despite your own personal feelings, Sam, what do you think? Is the American interest in the Epstein files overall, is it going up, down, staying the same?
I think it's going down. There's probably some fatigue for some people.
All right. Here's what Harry Enton says.
I would say that this is, from at least a political point of view, quickly turning into a dud of a story. What am I talking about here?
Which is wild.
Which is wild.
This has been for 3 weeks.
Exactly. Take a look here. Google searches for Epstein down 89% versus just 3 weeks ago. Falling through the floor. It is no longer the top term searched alongside Donald Trump's name. That's been trading off between Taros and Vladimir Putin, with obviously the meeting coming up later this week.
But here's what I would say to that. Nothing new has happened. Like nothing new in the Epstein saga. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I read a lot of news every single day. Is there anything new on Epstein? I don't think that there has been.
No.
The newest thing
Was what he just mentioned. Was what Sam just mentioned. The grand jury testimony is being squelched.
Yeah, and they moved Ghislaine Maxwell over to that much nicer white collar kind of prison.
Yep.
In Texas. She was in Florida, and now she's in Texas. So, I mean, as far as that goes, I don't know. There hasn't been anything new, but I guarantee you that if something did come up, the interest would come back.
But at this particular point, the American people's interest in this story, it's quickly becoming something of a nothing burger.
So out of sight, out of mind, maybe, is applying here a little bit. But has it impacted, have you seen numbers that have impacted Trump's popularity, favorability, anything?
No, not really. I mean,
No, of course not. Because his supporters know that this is BS.
take a look here. Let's take a look at the overall numbers. Trump's approval rating. In July of 2025, it was 45%. It's still well within that margin of error here at 44%.
All right, so August of 2017, his approval rating, first time around, 37%. July of 2025, his favorability rating was at 45%. In August, he was down a tick to 44%. People know, like, I don't need Harry Enton to tell me that, I'm not saying that it's a nothing burger, but I think that the overall general interest in this is going down. But I also believe that there's nothing new to report on this. And as I said previously, if something happened, the interest would be back up. The reason why his approval rating hasn't gone down is because the people who support him totally and completely understand that he is being railroaded here. I mean, I don't mean to do the same monologue 50,000 times, but when you know that Donald Trump was the only guy that cooperated in the previous investigation, then you know that he's in the clear. And there's nothing anywhere that shows that Donald Trump did anything wrong.
And you compare that to where he was in his first term at this point. He was at 37%, so he's 7 points higher, very much in a different political universe now, significantly higher in terms of his overall approval rating than he was at this point in his first term. And more than that, among Republicans, his approval rating is near a record high, hovering right at about that 90% mark. So no, he hasn't lost any of that base. And when it comes to that center of the electorate, he's basically holding on there, and his overall approval rating, 44%, is pretty gosh darn good for him considering where he was at this point in term number one.
There you go. And you know what the reason I think why that is I think that he has had far more demonstrable successes. That's number one. And number two, let's not forget where we started the day this morning on Nashville's Morning News, where we were talking about the news from Just the News with Adam Schiff, where now there is a word, and we were talking about this earlier, where Adam Schiff, more than likely, he is lawyering up. If you missed it, I'm sorry. But there is now a whistleblower that is saying that Adam Schiff leaked classified information tied to the Russian investigation in an effort to harm Donald Trump. So I think that, Joan, a lot of the stuff that Trump dealt with in his first term, that had something to do with that lower approval rating because of all the stuff that was being thrown at him every single day. But now he's done a lot good. He's done a lot of things that are good and that have worked out. His foreign policy is incredible. And so for, this version of the Trump administration, I think he's doing real well. I mean, I would have a hard time. I don't know if you have an opinion, Joan or Sam, but what do you think is the best thing that Donald Trump has done? There's been so many really good things.
It may be the one thing that we completely stopped talking about. Mm-hmm. The border.
The border.
We don't have anything to talk about with the border anymore because it's closed, shut down, and now they're hiring new border protection agents with a $50,000 bonus. Like, get them in here.
Right.
Let's continue to take people out of this country. I think that's what made us all feel unsafe within our own country.
Yep.
He's taking care of that, and we almost stopped talking about it.
Yeah, now we're talking about the mass deportation that the president is trying to do. And he really is trying to do it, but I think the Democrats are making themselves look really silly by trying to stop him at every turn. Sam, what do you think is the best thing that Trump has done?
I'm gonna kind of cheat here and say everything, but it's in the context. Hold on, bear with me now.
Okay.
It's in the context of the culture. We've noticed the culture has caught up to what the administration is doing on a fact-based relevance of sorts. When it came to the border, you didn't need a bill to close it. When it comes to immigration, we can enforce it. When it comes to federalizing the police in D.C. to clean up the crime there are facts of why he is doing the things he's doing. We see the results of these things, and as a result, the culture around us. Stephen Colbert's coming off the air because his show sucks and he's losing money. We're going back to a fact-based culture, which is beneficial as an American, exceptionalist idea.
See, that makes sense. That makes sense. And when you say the culture seems to be rebounding from, the insanity of, who was it? Tim Burchard said yesterday, he coined a phrase. I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but as funny as all get out and great. Woketopia.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Did you? Oh, yeah. So I'd never heard of Woketopia before. I should totally steal it. But I loved what Tim Burchard had to say yesterday. And it is true. You can talk about the Sydney Sweeney thing and all the other things that are happening in our culture where there is just, again, not to belabor the point, but a celebration of normalcy. Mm-hmm. And I think that, for the vast, vast majority of the American people, we actually appreciate that. Mm. And I loved the laughter in the White House press briefing yesterday with Donald Trump. I thought that he sounded, really good. He sounded really happy, and he sounded like he was in a great mood. A far cry from what we saw during the Trump administration the first time around, because the man was always, always, always under attack. So, for me, what's the best thing he's done? I'm kind of like you, Sam, all of it. But I think I might be with Joan on the border. But I love all of the foreign policy stuff that he's done as well. Keeping boys out of the girls' bathrooms, that has been great as well. And here's the thing. The bigger thing, and then we got to go. But I think that the tariffs could be the absolute best thing that the man has ever done or the worst. We just don't know yet. I think it's going to be the best thing, but it could end up being the worst. We really don't know. But I think personally that the president has made all the right moves thus far.